Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, get into the TA. All right, guys, we're going to go over the indices, then we're going to go over the FANG stocks, and then we can go over the semiconductors. All right, let's get into the TA. Guys, we had a breakdown today from this 2-week-long range, and I am just going to say I was rather surprised to see that. All right. I thought on Friday we were getting that little start of our breakout. No. All right. That was the pull trap followed by the breakdown. You then came to the bottom of the range and crushed that. All right. So I am just going to say you had a range here of, $8.50, we're going to call it. You broke down from about right here. Guys, this thing can come a bit lower. Okay. So let's just go over the levels we're going to be watching here. 551.26 is support. Under there, we have 548.88. All right, that is the next spot, and you almost tagged that today. Underneath 548.88, you have the 544.96 gap. That is, still open down there. And, I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, we could end up going lower, but from that point on, all right, I will just be watching down here. And I don't think it's happening. Okay, but 530, if this thing really decides to fall all the way back, 530 is definitely going to be that level to pay attention to. You have that little area going on over there. Okay, you got a lot of sellers stepping in over there. You had to stair step your way up, grind through that spot. That is going to be where we watch. Okay, on the upside is resistance. We have 554.87, 557.32, and 560.79. But for the time being, guys, we're just going to be watching these two levels right here, because this is really, where the bottom of that range here is. This was the zone that we're going to be paying attention to. And if you want to make it just that much cleaner, you're going to go like that. You're going to go like that. All right. And clear as they see, this is the bottom of that range. All right. So, it wouldn't surprise me if we come back into it and get some sellers there, considering this is also going to be where that 9 daily EMA is. So that is that. Now, if you come down to the hourly time frame, you can see we closed out with this hammer candlestick, and you come down to the 15-minute time frame. We don't have a bearish divergence or a bullish divergence. We don't have a 15-minute bullish divergence. It doesn't have to happen, but I typically like to see them on Spire QQQ before, seeing a bounce when things start free falling. All right, but the hourly RSI does have that bullish divergence currently going on. You have the, hourly hammer candlestick that you closed out with. It's not the worst look going into tomorrow, and I do think we potentially could be coming back up and testing this zone right here, 554.87 to 557.32. All right, so that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. Above there, we are going to just literally be watching the golden pocket, but more specifically 560.79. That's going to be right over there at the 0.786 fib there if you really get a big move. But guys, either this was a trap, this is going to turn into a trap and you're going to see price go like that, or you're going to see this exact move happen. All right, and you're going to see something like that. Okay, and we will see how things shape up. We're probably going to have a bullish divergence at some point pop up. Something's going to start signaling that we are going to be getting a big bounce, and I'm just saying we don't have anything really suggesting that right now. All right, and what VIX did, we're just going to jump forward to VIX here, as VIX had almost a 40% day. All right, at almost a 40% day here. It's back above the daily 9 EMA. If it pulls back, which, it's completely possible to see that thing pull back and test the daily 9 just like it did over here. It spiked up and then it pulled back over here. That probably is just setting it up for another spike. So, I'll just throw that out there. Those are my thoughts now that you've seen this spike. In the 15-minute time frame, you do have this 15-minute bearish divergence. All right. This could bring a pullback over here on VIX. Okay. And then what can we get after that? All right. We can get another spike. And that would be a pullback to the 9 over here. We could get a big VIX crush for one day, and then we see it pop back up again. All right. On this spike over here, you didn't have your 15-minute bearish divergence. Okay. So I was looking for things to pull back and then spark back up there. I think it was over here. Yeah, just like that guy over there. You come back over there, you do that, you go a little like that. All right, how did that actually end up playing out? Well, it played out exactly like that. All right, so I am going to be looking for VIX to get a little pullback here, considering how fast it has gone up here. But at the end of the day, I think it probably goes higher. So that's just my opinion there. Okay, now moving on over here to QQQ. All right, big sell, guys. Minus 3% day. Big flip and sell. And on the weekly time frame, guys, I'm just going to say we had a decent look, but you just literally, you killed that. All right, you're going to have to close this week out with a hammer candlestick to save the day. But quite frankly, guys, this thing looks ugly at this point in time. And that is that. Okay. Daily time frame over here on the Qs. Guys, we have 458.40 support underneath there. We're going to be watching down there. If we just take a whole move here, the golden pocket is down here at 447. So, you know, that is honestly a spot that probably gets hit from this point in time. I know that's $13 lower, but, you know, it will not surprise me in the slightest. If we come down here to 452.06, then why are we not going to go a little lower and tap that golden pocket? It would be picture perfect. Okay. And from that point, guys, we could get some golden pocket inception. All right. You got one golden pocket test, come down, test the other one. Well, then from that point, you're going to have another one. It'll be like that. All right. Maybe you bounce back up, do that. I don't know. I don't know how things are exactly going to shape up here. Okay. But yeah, support 458.40 underneath there, guys. We're going to add this guy right there, 454.37, and then 452.06. Resistance 462.85, 465.11, 467.94. Now, honestly, this was a big spot over here, and you just kind of sold right through it. So that is quite concerning, in my personal opinion, over here on QQQ. You did close out with the same hourly candlestick that SPY did. Your hourly RSI is also oversold, just like SPY. Does not mean it cannot go lower. All right. Doesn't mean price can't just gap down tomorrow and we end up somewhere down here. Does not mean that. All right. But, you know, if you open above this tomorrow, you're going to have not the worst look over here on the hourly time frame. Come down to the 15-minute time frame. Again, we don't have those bullish divergences popping up just yet, which tells me, hey, you got to have your eyes, you got to have your mind open to more downside. That's just that. Okay. IWM, guys, how are we looking over here? Pretty butt ugly. All right. You're coming into a major spot, though, right over here between 209.77 and 212.25. All right. Expect buyers over there. Let's see if we got any 15-minute bullish divergences carving out there. You do. Okay. You can just mark it out like that. The price come down. So, you know, guys, over here, I'm expecting buyers to step in now over here for a bounce. That is that. Hourly RSI is also oversold as well. DIA, how are we looking over there, guys? All right. Yes, we had the hourly, you know, hourly hammer candlestick that all the indices closed out with. That's not so important. This daily chart, honestly, all of these aren't looking the best, especially SPY and QQQ. They just look butt ugly. Support over here on DIA is 408.71. Underneath there, 406.02. Okay. Resistance, 412.01, 413.86, 416.30. That's that. We already went over VIX, guys, but just know, you know, this thing had a really big day over here. It closed out 33% on the day. This, or I guess 37%. Up here it says 37%, and then I have something over here to the right. It says 33%. So, you know, 37%. Regardless, guys, big day. Like, don't be surprised if this is followed by a further upside. Like, something spooked the market. And I can't really say what that was that completely, you know, threw the markets off a cliff. I don't know. But I'll definitely tell you there's that. What I will say, guys, there was a big Tesla buyer for 2025 315. I just started using black box stocks. All right, for you know, I'm just gonna start tracking flow. I figured, you know what, guys, if I could get as good at tracking this flow as I am with just tracking the charts, well, eventually I will just literally every single move be able to pair the flow coming in or pair the charts, and then I'll just expect, you know, I'll just be waiting for flow, and then I follow the flow, and then boom. All right, you got a winning you got two winning things going on there. That's that. All right, because at the end of the day, there probably is going to be a whale that's getting in right before everything pumps or dumps, and, you know, compare that with a setup. All right, you could just give it more weight. There you go. So that's exciting stuff. But yeah, guys, we're gonna come over here to the FANG stocks over here, and Apple, guys, butt ugly. After you printed this over here, you came back, you were testing 227.78. As of today, you lost that and you sunk all the way back down here to 222.27. Now, just like SPY, guys, the fact that you got all the way up here above that 0.786 fib, I'm bullish on this pullback. I know things look butt ugly. I understand that. At the end of the day, we are expecting SPY to push up to a new all-time high. And, you know, they're just testing people's patience across the board. And that's what we're really looking at. All right. They are, you know, let's just go back to SPY. You got within $2 of your all-time high, and then they sold it. Guys, this is going to get bought up. Whether it happens from here or it happens from here, it's going to get bought up. You're going to see a new all-time high. You don't push all the way up there, okay? Buyers wouldn't have pushed it up there, and sellers wouldn't have let them push it up there if there wasn't demand for up here. They're just pulling it back. It's fine. That is that. But yeah, over here on Apple, guys, support 222.27, 220.33. 217.13. Resistance 224.48, 227.78, and 230.44. Amazon, guys, this is the one, like, I just don't think the market's going to sell off too much here. I don't. I can't picture this thing going, you know, belly up over here. I think this thing's probably going to explode, and this is a pullback opportunity. And, you know, Amazon's kind of the only thing that I'm going to have confidence to really load up here again. All right? We get to load it on a dip. Take the profits, all right, and maybe we get another little dip. I was, you know, kind of thinking 173.87 down here might get hit, but we'll have to see how that goes. You're still right at that downtrend. Resistance is going to remain 176.80 and then 178.90 above there. That was Friday's high over there. Above there, 181.22, 184.75. Support 173.87, as I just mentioned. But underneath there, let's say it does come down. All right, 171. If you can't hold 171, you're coming down to 168.77. That's just that. Goog. All right, what the heck did they do to Goog? Oh my gosh, I couldn't have seen that coming. I'm gonna be completely honest. That's freaking crazy. All right, it's insane in the membrane. Okay, guys, your daily RSI, it's almost 230 already, so keep that in mind. You're gonna come down. You're at this point, you're definitely gonna take out this low. Like, there's nothing definite in the market, but I could definitely tell you broke down here. You got really close. Same concept as SPY over there. All right, you got close enough to it. It wants to take it out. It wants to test it. So we're looking for it to take out 156.60. I don't know if it's going to go much lower than that, but I do think a daily bullish divergence is going to remain here. Okay, let's see if we could find a spot on this chart where that was the case. All right, there was no other case except 2022. And, you know, over there, you did kind of fall off a cliff there. I don't think that is going to be the case. You see how you kind of just slightly undercut that low right over here, 5% there. All right, I think that could happen. I don't think you're gonna, you know, come down and fall another 10% there. I just don't think that's gonna happen. That was in bear market, guys. That was what put in your major bottom over here, and then we rallied our butts off. We're not in, you know, not even close to that same headspace on the market. We're just not. All right. So look for this low to be taken out. Look for a daily bullish divergence to remain there. Okay. Either way, daily RSI is coming down to 30 over there. Not going to say things look pretty. All right. But I am definitely going to remind everyone, all right, when this thing is oversold, it typically is always going to be a good buying opportunity. So it doesn't really matter how it looks. It's going to be a good buying opportunity. You could have bought it in the bear market. It would have been. All right. Like, you know, this is where you start bouncing back from. And it's not always going to, you know, be picture perfect, but you're looking for these kinds of things. That's that. All right. You can go lower after the bounces, but you're still looking for these big bounces. That's that. All right. Meta. What do we got, guys? What do we got? Resistance 514.95. That's where you broke down from today. Above there, 523.86. Support is going to be 510. Underneath there, 502.56, and then 492.39. You know, I'm not going to say it's the worst looking, but you clearly are getting stair step down here. Let's see what happens. What if you test over here at 514.95 and head lower from there? That would, you know, not be the best look. But honestly, I could see it after what we got today. I could see that something like that happening. All right. 492.39. That looks like, you know, that middle spot in between there and there. You take off a Fibonacci retracement here. 50% retracement is going to be right over here. It doesn't look like a bad spot to me. Microsoft, what do we got, guys? A really ugly look. We had a bunch of bull flag breakouts and just a bunch of bull flag setups, and then you had today, and they made them look really ugly. All right, so I'm just gonna say Microsoft is one of these things that looks pretty freaking darn ugly. All right, resistance is 413, then 417.27 above there. And then 421.78 above there. But you know what? He didn't even get up there today. So I doubt it's going to do it tomorrow. Yeah, 404.51 is your support underneath there. 397.47. And then 388.03 is going to be a really big spot if you come down and test it. But I'm also going to say giant head and shoulders pattern if you come down and test that level. So that is something to take note of. There you go. Let me Tesla. All right, this is the thing that I'm not even gonna cap. All right, I got trolled on this one. Sweet baby Jesus. All right, this thing was looking immaculate as the rest of the market was selling. I was like, oh my god, this is like what Amazon was doing last week. This is the thing with strength today. You know, I've seen Tesla move against the market before. I've seen it do some crazy things as things are tanking. I thought it would be one of those times. It was not one of those times, all right? It full on reverse with the whole market over here. And yeah, all right. You got the early close, it got me really excited. And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's coming back for the back test. And then it was not a back test, it just faded it. All right, so increasing volume on today's candlestick. You did reject that downtrend. That's not the best look, guys. And from here, it does look like you're going to test 208.49. Underneath there, guys, all right, I'm just going to say, like right here, all right, 205.75. Underneath 205.75, you have 270. I'm not saying those get tested down there, all right, but I am looking for a higher low over here, like compared to over here. I'm not looking for you to revisit down here. I'm looking for somewhere over here, probably this, 270 spot. If it's tested, that is where you expect buyers to step in, and then you test that downtrend again. We'll have to see. If you can just get a daily close over this, it clearly wasn't respecting this hourly close above it. You get a daily close, guys, this thing's ready for an explosion. It's ready to start pushing up here, all right, to that golden pocket. It's clearly set the heck up, and I would say this is the setup that I would keep my focus on, all right, and that is that. For the day, Tessie, you hurt me a whole $1,000 worth. So, a little butthead there. That's okay. Everything kind of hurt me today. Well, not everything, all right? Futures, we were green 650 on futures by the end of the day, so that works. I took one trade on futures. It was literally right at the end of the day, and it was actually picture perfect. And this is something that makes me think like, hey, all right, maybe we are about to see a little bouncy here, right? Guys, the 4-hour RSIs on ES and NQ, they are already in oversold territory. That's how aggressive this move was. This hourly RSI is all the way down here. Let's just look. This is where you've been getting these decent sized bounces, all right, like a bottom. All right, right there, all right, you got that little thing, and then you went like that, and then you went like that, and went almost 2% up. Okay, so that was that one, and you got this one over here. This one you didn't, all right, you just grind, you put in divergence, and then you came back to break even for a day. All right, so I'm not saying you have to, full on put in a reversal here, but I was looking for that bounce, all right, and we got that bounce. You come over the 15-minute time frame, you had all these divergences popping up right here. But yeah, my one trade of the day was really right here, and I wasn't confident enough to do it with a full NQ, so I did it with 6 MNQs. So there was that. But yeah, guys, so this was picture perfect. I liked it right up here. All right, and there was my 100-point move. I loved it. It was just a beautiful thing. If only I did it with an NQ, I would have been satisfied. It was like, oh, you lose money on options, make money in futures. Yeah, we'll call it even. Nah, meh. I don't like seeing my options accounts dying, but that is what it is. It is what it is, guys. On days like these, all right, if you got time, there's that. Hopefully, guys, please tell me people were scaling out of them positions when we got a massive market recovery, because, guys, we're going to get that we're getting that opportunity right now. I'm looking for the same exact thing that I have been looking for, guys. SPYs, higher low, all right? I thought you were going to be breaking up. It really looked like you were going to be breaking up. But, regardless, you got all the way up here. $2 within the all-time high. Guys, look for a freaking higher low over here. Buy some time. We're talking September 20 and October expiration. I really would say October expiration. If you're looking for swings and you're looking to, multiply some money, all right, same thing. If you were dip buying this, I know it dipped a little more than we thought it would be dipping. This one over here, guys, between here and here, this is where I'm going shopping, all right, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do my best, all right, and yeah, all right, and I'll just go over some of the setups that I am going to be loading the boat on that decline, all right. Tesla, I really like Tesla, specifically Tesla. This thing's freaking juicy. Amazon, specifically freaking Amazon. The thing's beautiful. Goog, Why Goog? Because I know if you go back, this daily RSI doesn't go much lower. It doesn't go lower. If it gets down here, you're buying a bottom. You're bottom picking, baby, all right? So why are we going to focus on Goog? Because we know if we're buying down here, we could buy some time. It's not going much lower. You have support right under that support. Well, I can very clearly see it can sweep that low, come down here to that support, and then boom, that's where we want to grab that thing and scoop it up on a discount, and then we ride that bad boy back up. All right, so the setups that I'm gonna, the tickers that I'm focusing on this decline here, and I'm gonna be loading up October 18 calls. All right, specifically Tesla, specifically Amazon, one more specifically Google. Okay, I'll let you know if I find any more, but these are the things that I think these are going to be the big winners. All right, I think they're going to be the big winners here on the rebound. I think if you're buying them around where I'm describing, I think you're going to be buying a good discount. And things like this, I'm sorry guys, it's just how I am. I feel more comfortable buying a big boy stock like this that I know is going to keep recovering with the market at a discount when the daily RSI is oversold. I know it's not a lot of people's style. People are like, oh, what are you doing? Wait for it to bottom out. It's just what I like to do. Okay. And these bigger stocks, I like to do it because I've, been doing this for, it's at least, it's been a quite a, we're going to call it 4 years. I've been trading these big boy stocks. All right. Yeah, we're going to call it 3 to 4 years. I don't even know. I started back in the market in 2020 and here we are. So I guess, yeah, it has been around 4 years, but I've been specifically tracking these big boy stocks for 3 to 4 years. And guys, they always recover with the market. So I'm always going to point your attention to over here, and they will have my focus. Why? Because they will be moving with the market. And sometimes the market, all right, it's way up here, but then you have this guy way down here. The daily RSI is way down here. You're about to undercut that low, and that's going to put in the daily bullish divergence. Like, that's what kind of tells me SPY and QQ probably aren't going to be falling much lower if Google's not falling much lower. All right, these are little market clues. All right, I don't want to keep talking your ear off about the same thing. I'm bullish on this pullback. I know I'm going to get called a permabull in the comment. I already had someone come to my page who called me a permabull. That's fine. I will remain that way. I'm bullish on this dip. Why? Because SPY came so close up there. There's nothing telling us that it should be getting up there, and then we're not going to be bullish on this pullback. There's nothing telling us that we shouldn't be bullish on that pullback. All right, that's that. Okay. But yeah, guys, VIX, it can go a lot higher. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying the pullback's not going to happen. I just pointed out throughout this video, I pointed out how I see things that they can play out. All right, how I see them not playing out, but they can play out. All right, in VIX, it could pull back and then it could go higher. SPY, all right, I think I was pretty clear on that. I'll just go over it one more time. Well, these are your two paths. It's either going to recover from here, and this was all one giant bear trap. That wasn't a bull trap. This was one giant bear trap, and you're going to get that arrow. All right. Or, well, it would probably be something like this, by the way. It would probably go like that. Or you're going to get this path, which honestly, with how things shaped up, I'm going to give more weight on this path right here, which is you get this little rebound here. It resets some oscillators, and then we, take a trip down the drain over there, and yeah, we could see some further downside. But yeah, so I'm just being honest on what I see on the charts. I know I am a permabull. That's fine. Permabulls can guys, we know this thing's probably going to continue higher. That's all I'm saying. All right, we know it's probably going to continue higher, so let's throw some darts at the dartboard with some time on the pullback, because we know it's probably in the end going to end up higher anyway. The odds are in our favor. I'll keep betting in the if odds are on my side. That's just how it'll remain. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. I appreciate your time. I know, I kind of just shared my opinion in this video that this is a bullish pullback. We did go over, key levels there. I know we actually didn't go over the chips. I just realized that. NVDA, guys, you did break under 118. I gave my warning in the last video. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's not always going to make sense what I'm saying, but I will just call it like I see it. And NVIDIA, it was kind of just dancing around 118, and you had absolutely nothing under there. And now, I think it's going to be a great dip buy opportunity down here. But then again, they're being investigated by the DOJ. So I don't know, guys. All right. It's either you take the dip buy near $100. I would wait for $100. Why? Because that's so close to this 0.786 fib. And if you can't hold $99, then you just sell, because you're probably going to come down here. And then you get a really big dip buy. And then, if you really want to just be safe about your money, okay, you're going to do this. All right. And this is exactly what I am helping someone do here. All right. We had her sell. And then, yeah, she's going to be buying this bad boy back in. And she's going to get to run it back. All right. I had her start buying over here. All right. She took the whole NVIDIA position right here. And NVDU. And then, boom. All right. I didn't know it was going to happen. But this thing's tanking. And this is just something. Guys, 100% gain. It's just straight shares right here. You ain't got to play your options. You don't have to have a time limit, okay, on your bet here. So I just thought I'd share NVDU. All right, it is double NVIDIA. So when NVIDIA moves 50%, it will move more, twice as much. And it does move more. I don't know why it moves a little more than the 50%, or a little more than double, but it does. Okay. Golden pocket. This is where you got to hold 99 though. If you break under 99, you're probably coming down here at 90.69. Maybe you get a reaction over at 97.40, but in all likelihood, if you break this level right here, you're coming down here. So, dip buys as close as to 99 as possible, which would be 100. There you go. All right. But again, 4-hour RSI, it's already oversold, guys. This sell is really aggressive. So it's already oversold. Avigo has earnings. Okay, guys, they literally have earnings after, the bell on Thursday. So that is going to be a decent catalyst over here on the chips. I can see something shaping up here. Inverse head and shoulders pattern. All right, so this pullback very well could just be something like that. All right, that's not so bad. That's a pretty good look you got right there. Not too shabby. All right, not too shabby. On Avigo's pullback, I would just be watching the golden pocket over here. 143.82 would be the level of interest there if you get another red day. AMD, what do you got? You're already in the golden pocket, guys. Like, this is what I'm saying. You're already there. 4-hour RSI is already in oversold territory. Like, it's just about there. I'm not saying your bottom's about to be put in. I'm not. But you very much can start carving out a divergence or bouncing. All right. Where you then go lower and put in a divergence. All right. We'll be looking for it. SMCI, this one that actually, had some strength today. It wasn't selling off massively like everything else. I wouldn't say massively. We've had some crazy red days recently, and today really wasn't too bad compared to what we've seen, guys. We did see the market kind of have a meltdown crash. All right, but yeah, you're up still about 1% here. You got the daily bullish diverge going on. I like it. But yeah, again, this is your buy zone down there. All right, and ARM, I'm just gonna say, guys, support 118.50 underneath there, 108.69. And then MU I want to touch on as well. You're going to undercut this low right here with all likelihood. You're going to undercut this 84.91 low. Probably don't move too much further underneath it. All right, considering you got pretty oversold over here when you came over here, like at the daily RSI. So if you do that, you're probably just going to put in a divergence that you didn't over here. So probably don't go too much lower than 84.91, but you definitely are looking like you want to take it out. So that's that. QCOM. Guys, you broke down the wrong direction. This is what I'm saying. Straight up, same thing with SPY. Holy sweet baby Jesus. I was waiting patiently on it. I didn't even take it. I was planning on taking it today. And then I saw, the nasty gap downs we were getting. I was like, oh, got to take my foot off the gas there, right? Again, only this morning, Tesla was sure the only one standing out to me that looked good. And then, boom, it in the end gave it back too. I was like, okay. Yeah, no one's safe. You're not safe out there. Duh, duh, duh. All right, guys. But you're coming into the golden pocket. QCOM 161 down to 157. All right, you have support down there at 156.34. I would say you have to hold right here. You're gonna, come back down here to 150. But yeah, guys, I think this is probably going to be a. I think it's probably going to undercut this low with how this is looking. I'm going to be completely honest. The thing looks so good if it was just a break up. It would be so constructive, all right? It really was looking immaculate. And now you have a lot of things that look like even Goog, all right? Like I just said how bullish I was on Goog on this dip. But then you have this. Bear flag. Boom. All right? Like I could see it. But at the same time, I mean, I'm going to trust my eyeballs looking back on these things. All right, daily RSI oversold territory. Okay, I think it will at least, you'll be getting a bounce every single time, and it'll be a decent bounce. Okay, well over here you didn't get a decent bounce, but we'll 6% bounce. Nah, you know what? That's your decent bounce. I just had the magnet on. So that's all I'll be looking for. But I think that is, the thing that I'll trust over here. All right, guys, I don't want to keep talking your ear off. I hope everybody has a lovely rest of their day, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.